Peace, peace. I'm back. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for everybody that's been following me so far. And welcome to what I call perception, right? What I call perception focal lens, right? With truth and fact come to focus, right? It's called perception lens. It's your third eye, right? That's why I chose the name. I chose the name because your third eye is like a camera. And when it's not in focus, you can't see the true reality. But when it is, you see everything clearly, right? So that's the reason why I chose the name that I chose. So those that follow me, go to my YouTube and like and subscribe so we can get this thing going. This community of information where everybody lens is focused. Right? So when I left off, I was explaining 3I, the symbolism, the metaphor, and what they're trying to do. Now I'm going to go into speaking about who's behind this 3I atlas. So when I was doing the research, the first thing that I thought about was who's the people that owns the 3I atlas telescope? And it drew me to look up who's the owner of 3I atlas, the telescope, right? So let's go and let me bring this up because this is gonna get deep. This is gonna get real deep. All right. Give me 1 minute. Bring this up. It says, in the AI overview, it says, the 3I Atlas interstellar comet is not owned by anyone. It is a celestial object. It was discovered by the Atlas Telescope System, right? Which is a NASA funding project operated by the University of Hawaii. It is a subject of study for multiple space agencies, including NASA and the European Space Agency, ESA, and various space telescopes like the Hubble Space Telescope and the James Webb Space Telescope, right? What is the Atlas Telescope System? The Atlas Telescope System refers to asteroids, terrestrial impact, last alert system. So it's an alert system that watches out for asteroids that come towards Earth, that look like they're going to collide with Earth, right? So this telescope is an impact alert system, right? This is why the reason why they're watching this comet, because it looks like it's going to come straight for Earth, right? An automated ground-based survey designed to detect asteroids, comets, and other pose an impact threat to Earth. It consists of 4 telescopes in Hawaii, Chile, and South Africa, which continuously scans the sky for moving objects. The system is also known for its discovery of interstellar object comets, 3I Atlas, right? That's what it is. It's an alert system. watching and scanning the sky, looking to see if something's making a threat to Earth. NASA, which we know is an independent company of the government. We're going to talk about NASA, right? But I wanted to go into who was behind this whole 3-Eye Atlas. And the man that I came across, his name is Avi Loeb, right? And who is Avi Loeb? He's the one that's behind this 3-Eye Atlas thing. And I want to bring his name up so y'all know who he is. Avi Loeb, he's from Israel. He's from Israel. He's a Jew, right? So I said I was going to be talking about certain people. Avi Loeb is a Jew. And he's the one that's behind the 3-Eye Atlas. He's a Jewish physician. That means that he studies the stars. He studies the dynamics of the way things move in the universe, right? But let's dig in his background. Right? Let's dig in his background. It says Avi Loeb, born February 26, 1972, is an Israeli, right? Israeli. An American theoretical physician who works on astrophysics, cosmology. Right? Loeb is the Frank B. Baird Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard University. He chairs the Department of Astronomy from 2011 to 2020 and founded the Black Hole Initiative in 2016. Now, the two things that I went to when talking about him, because he's a Jew from Israel. And we know that we have certain Jews. And I'm going to say this, all Jews are not bad. You have good Jews who follow the religion to the T. They represent it great. They help the world. And they are on the side of the polarity of trying to make the world, people live in the world in peace and harmony together. Those are the ones we congratulate. Those are the ones that we want to stand by and hope they stand by us. But then you have the other aspect of the Jews, like everybody else in every nationality, every religion. You have your good and you have your bad, right? I know there's a bad aspect of people that don't represent Israel right. Some of them that are in America and they don't represent America right. Is all Jews a part of this? No. There's some good ones. But the ones that are not, they're called your Zionist Jews. And when we're talking about Zionism, Zionism is a revolutionary global takeover by your disagreeable people that represent Israel or represent the Jews. These are the ones that make the good Jews look bad, because these are the ones that represent the wrong way. These are the ones that are going for global domination, and they're doing it in a revolutionary way. This is what Zionism is about. And this guy is one of them, Abraham Avi Loeb. He's the one behind the 3-Eye Atlas. How I know? Two things I looked up. I looked up what school he went to, right? Harvard University, right? Harvard University is a private Ivy League school research university in Cambridge, Massachusetts, founded in 1636 as the New College and later named for the first benefactor of the Puritan clergy, John Harvard. So Puritans and clergy are the key words, because the Puritans, they were your Protestants, right? And we know that clergymen are people of the church. They're supposed to be people of God, people that follow the laws and regulations of God. So when we talk about your Puritans, clergymen, right? Harvard University, John Harvard, who founded the university, was a part of that. And the Puritans, which is Protestant, and we know that there was something called the Protestant Reformation, right? What was the Protestant Reformation period? Because I'm going somewhere with this. Give me 1 minute. The Protestant Reformation was a 16th century religious and cultural movement that broke the power of the medieval Roman Catholic Church, leading to the establishment of new Protestant domination. So this was the war between the Roman Catholic Church. And we know that the Roman Catholic Church is banned by the Pope. And behind the Pope, you have a lot of disagreeable, malevolent forces, like the Jesuit order that deals with sorcery, witchcraft. The Jesuit order is the military aspect of the Roman Catholic Church. In the front, they portray as being good people. But they go to the extremes as soldiers of Christ if people don't follow the way of the Roman Catholic Church. Or if somebody speaks out against the Roman Catholic Church, these Jesuits are the military aspect of the church. And this part, the Jesuits, was founded by Ignatius Loyola. Ignatius Loyola is the one that created the Jesuit order during the Crusade period of when the Muslims and the Christians was fighting each other. You understand? And then later on, a person named Martin Luther went up against the Roman Catholic Church, and he was the one that created Protestantism, and then the Protestant Reformation period, which separated the two, right? You have what they call the Knights of Hospitaller. The Knights of Hospitaller is part of the Protestant sect. And that happened when the separation of the Roman Catholic Church and those people that decided to become Protestants. They created the secret society called the Knights of Hospitaller. You have the Knights of Templar. You have the Teutonic Knights. All these knight organizations were military arm of the Roman Catholic Church. And during the Crusade, they killed, bloodshed, did everything that was against Roman Catholicism. They were part of the war campaign of killing and torturing and destroying life. And so the knighthood, which people were initiated in, became part of this order. And the Knights of Hospitaller is one of those orders, just like the Knights of Templar and just like the Teutonic Knights. So when we're talking about the Catholic Church, Protestantism, and Zionism, the reason why Zionism connects with these three religions is you had your crypto Jews during the Inquisition period who was chased out of Spain and Portugal, and they started to embed themselves in Catholicism, Islam, and different sets of Protestantism, just to hide from being killed during the Inquisition. So these crypto Jews were hiding, and these crypto Jews were the ones that were controlling the banking system. They were controlling slavery. They were investing in wars. They were putting their money in things to make money. And they put their money in a lot of things that weren't good, into destroying lives, into wars. You understand? So these crypto Jews that believed in Zionism, who believed in global domination and taking the world through revolution. So the reason why I bring that up is that Protestantism, Catholicism, and Zionism is one thing. So when we talk about Harvard University, right? And we're talking about it being part of the Protestant sect or religion, this is what's behind that. This is the negative aspect that's behind that, that's controlling the Protestant religion. Your crypto Zionist Jews, but they're just cloaking themselves as Protestants. They're cloaking themselves as Catholics. And they're doing a lot of malevolent, disagreeable stuff behind the religion in secret. These are your Zionist Jews. So when we talk about Abraham Avi Loab, who's behind the 3-Eye Atlas, he's a Zionist Jew. He went to a Zionist university. And it's the Zionists who wants to use revolution for global revolution. So let's read what Zionism is. Zionism is a political organization that believes in revolution. It says Zionism is an ethno-cultural nationalist movement that emerged in the 19th century Europe, seeking to establish and support a Jewish homeland. What is the Jewish homeland? Israel. And we know Israel is artificial. It's not real. Israel was created through the Balfour Declaration. Who created the Balfour Declaration? Theodore Herzl and Rothschilds, the banking mogul family. That's part of your Masonry and your Illuminati. Matter of fact, it was the Rothschilds that funded the Illuminati. So when we talk about Zionism, the Rothschilds are the head figure of funding Zionism in the world of a global takeover through revolution. And these crypto Jews have embedded themselves in all religions. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. So when we talk about Rothschild's Zionism, which is the political organization that's putting in this new world order or global domination through revolution, this is what it's about. And people like Abraham Avi Loab, who's behind the 3-Eye Atlas, he's a Zionist. He's from Israel, that forced landmass that these Zionist Jews created. And one thing about these Zionist Jews, They do not like people outside of their religion. They have a name for people outside of their religion that they call Goyim. And a Goyim is a Gentile. And a Gentile to them is somebody that's beneath their feet. And so, global domination and doing it through revolution is on the back of the Goyim, the people that they hate, the people that they think belong under their feet. And they'll do anything, rob, steal, cheat, genocide to these people so that they can put in a Zionist global takeover. So Zionism is an ethnocultural nationalist movement that emerged in the 19th century Europe, seeking to establish and support a Jewish homeland. The name of the Jewish homeland they named Israel. It says through colonization of Palestine, this region corresponds to the land of Israel and Judaism and is central to Jewish history. Zionism wants to create a Jewish state in Palestine with as much land, as many Jews, and as few Palestine Arabs as possible. So that's why over there in Israel, the Jews and the Muslims are fighting. And your Zionist Jews who are using revolution are exterminating these Arabs. So they can take their land, so that they can build a Zionist Jewish homeland. You understand? So when we talk about a person like Abraham Avi Loab, who's behind 3i Atlas, this blueprint that they got everybody caught up in through the media, these are the people that's behind it. So they can control the minds of the people who are the Goyim or the Gentiles that they believe that's beneath their feet. The people that they say God don't care about, and they have the right to do whatever they want to them. This is part of their agenda, to keep your mind focused on 3i Atlas and aliens and UFOs so they can guide you into this new world order or this globalization that they're going to be controlling. And the Goyim, which is the Gentile that they believe that's beneath their feet, that God don't care about, is going to be the slaves of this new world order. So when we talk about the word Goyim, right? The word Goyim is the plural of Goy, a Yiddish and Hebrew word that literally means nation, but is commonly used to refer to non-Jewish person. The term can be used neutrally, but in modern English, it is often perceived as derogatory. The meaning of Goyim can depend heavily on context, as it is used both in casual conversation and in more formal or scholarly context, where its usage and connotation are debated. Number one literally means, in the biblical Hebrew, Goyim translate to nation or people. In this sense, Goyim can refer to any nation, not necessarily non-Jews. Right? So not necessarily non-Jews, can also consider to Jews that don't go along with their agenda. So these Zionist Jews are even go against their own people if they don't follow their agenda of global domination. They'll put them right in the same boat as the people that are non-Jews that they call Goyim. So the reason why I bring this up, because we are the Goyim, the Gentiles that these Zionist Jews have a globalization plan for, or a new world order plan for, where they're going to enslave us and exterminate us. This is part of their plan. This is what they plan to do to the Goyim because they believe the Goyim is beneath them and God don't care about them because they are the chosen people, not the Goyim. And they can do the Goyim however they want, and God is not going to punish them. Why? Because those people that's non-Jews don't believe in what they believe. So their God is cool if one of them do a Goyim the wrong way. Don't care if he lies, steal, cheat, or kill. Matter of fact, they get rewarded for destroying the Goyim. So the reason I bring this up, when you look at a person like Abraham A.V. Loab, who's behind pushing this 3-Eye Atlas hoax so that he can lead people into a new world order or globalization enslavement that's going to put them in a position of extermination, this is what he's part of the plan. And he went to Harvard University. Harvard University is controlled by crypto Jews who disguise themselves as Protestants or Catholics. But really they're Zionist Jews carrying out the agenda of global domination. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So when you see this guy, Abraham A.V. Loab, and he's talking about the 3-Eye Atlas, he's a Zionist. He comes from Israel, meaning that he supports the way how these Zionist Jews took that land from the Arabs. And the way they took the land from the Arabs was through the Balfour Declaration. And that was headed by the Rothschilds. So let me bring that up and give y'all some insight on that. A lot of y'all might know what the Balfour Declaration is. So you have Zionist Jews that's behind this 3-Eye Atlas thing. It's all a hoax. It's all part of their agenda to get us caught up in their globalization so that they can enslave us and exterminate us and benefit off our struggles and our burdens. Because remember, they're the ones that control all the banks. They're the ones that can put us in economic slavery and economic struggle and give us economic burdens. Right? It says the Balfour Declaration of 1917. AI overview. The Balfour Declaration was a 1917 statement from the British government. You had the British government, right? Written by Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour, that expressed support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. These Jews weren't from Palestine. They went over there and they took the land away from the indigenous people that were there, which were your Arabs. But through this declaration in 1917, and with the help of the British government, right, Arthur Balfour helped these Jews set up Israel, right? It says, issued during World War I, the declaration also stated that nothing should be done to prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jews communities in Palestine. This document considered a foundational and controversial event in the history of Israeli-Palestinian conflict due to the conflicting promises it made to both Jews and Arab population. Constantly a war with these Arabs and Israel. Why? Because they're robbing and stealing and taking the land from the Arabs. These are your Zionist Jews. Not all Jews. Not all Jews are a part of this agenda. Not all Jews are with the wickedness and evil of this agenda. Some Jews are standing up for peace and harmony amongst humanity and trying to do things in the world to make things love and peace. I'm talking about the ones that's part of the Zionist movement, who follow the Rothschilds and this Zionist globalization 2.0 agenda. These are the ones that's behind 3i Atlas. These are the Jews that own the news broadcast systems. They own the newspapers. They own the banks. They control politics. All in the help of supporting Zionist Jews of global domination in their state of Israel. So it's all a plan, this 3i Atlas thing, with these disagreeable or malevolent Jews that they call themselves the Zionists. And they're about revolution by any means. That what they got to do to make a Zionist Jewish utopia, that's what they'll do. And they're doing it on the back of what they call the Goyim, the Gentiles, the non-Jews. You understand? All right, so here we go. It says the Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, then an Ottoman region with a small minority Jewish population. The declaration was contained in a letter dated November 2nd, 1917, from Arthur Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, to Lord Rothschild, a leader of the British Jewish community, for transmitting to the Zionist Federation of Great Britain and Israel. So they have Britain, Ireland, and the Jews all come together under Zionism, which is a revolutionary world-dominating agenda. And this is how they got the state of Israel. These are the same people that control your news, your newspapers, they control your schools, they control politics, they control what you see on TV. They're the ones that's inserting the LBG agenda to bring down the moral fabric of the people that they call the Goyim. That's why you see all this negative stuff on TV. They're the ones that's funding it. The violence, the sex, the LPG, same-sex thing. This is all being funded by Jewish Zionists because their whole thing is to bring down and to enslave the Goyim people, which are the non-Jews. And I'm reading right here, it says, the declaration was contained in a letter dated November 2nd, 1917, from Alfred Balfour, which the declaration was named after, the British Foreign Secretary, to Lord Rothschild, a leader of the British Jewish community. So the royal family, Britain, and Jews are one. So when you look at the royal family, Queen Elizabeth, King Albert, Princess Di, they're crypto Jews. They've been invaded by crypto Jews following the Zionist agenda of the crypto Jews. Right? It says a leader of Lord Rothschild, a leader of the British Jewish community, for transmission to Zionist Federation of Great Britain and Ireland. So the Zionist people don't only control Israel, they control the royal family, Britain, they control Ireland, and they control America. They control the politics of America. That's who Trump is under. And they have this agenda of global domination. They're the ones that control the news, the newspapers, the school system, and they put what they want, which is a whole bunch of lies, because they don't want the Goyim or the non-Jews to get smart. They don't want the non-Jews to open their third eye, because they want to keep them enslaved, and they want to exterminate them, and they want to make money off doing it. So they don't want you to get smart. So they'll put this 3-eye atlas, cosmic, extraterrestrial UFO thing to take your third eye off focus of what it's supposed to be focusing on. Because they don't want you to grow spiritually. They want you to stay under their control and dominance. And so they can make millions of dollars off your struggle and your pain and your burdens. And at the same time, exterminate your existence. So these are the people that's behind showing you this extraterrestrial UFO comet and over-exaggerating alien invasion. This is the way how they're going to control you, bring you into their agenda of global domination. Let's keep on going. So y'all heard that. The Rothschilds, right? These Rothschilds are the ones that found the Illuminati. It says Rothschilds, Walter Rothschild, the second Baron of the Rothschilds. Lionel Walter Rothschild, second Baron Rothschild, Baron de Rothschild, February 8, 1868, August 27, 1937, was a British banker, politician, zoologist, and soldier who was a member of the Rothschild family. As a Zionist leader, he was present with the Balfour Declaration, which pledged Britain's support for a Jewish national home in Palestine. Rothschild was the president of the Board of Deputies of the British Jews from 1925 to 1926. And they went over there and exterminated the Muslims, them Arabs, and took their land. And Britain was behind them. The Royal Crown was behind them. Why? Because the Royal Crown is infested with crypto Jews who believe in Zionists and global domination. So Lionel Walter Rothschild, second Baron, his title being a Baron means that he owns land. He owns allodial land. He falls under the nobility. Anytime you hear the word Baron, Duke, Earl, Dutch, Duchess, Count, Countess, these are people of nobility. They're outside the law. Nobody can do nothing to them. The government can't do nothing to them. So these British royal monarchs who's outside the law support Jewish Zionism. You understand? These Rothschilds were the same ones that found the Illuminati. Right? It says the association between the Rothschilds and the Illuminati exists, right? It says these claims, it said exists, right? The Rothschilds are Jewish people controlling global affairs. The Illuminati, the original Illuminati was the Order of Perfectionists. Later, the Bavarian Illuminati, a real-life secular secret society founded in Bavaria by Adam Weishaupt. on May 1st, 1776. Its goal was to promote Enlightenment principles and secularism, challenging the power of the church and state. The order was officially disbanded by the Bavarian government in late 1780s. The Rothschild family, right? The Rothschilds are a historical, significant, influential European Jewish banking dynasty that rose to prominence in the late 18th and 19th century. They were known for their success in international finance, including war financing and government advising, such as during the Napoleonic Wars. So they fund wars. They use the banking money to fund wars. This is how they manipulate and control globally. This is how they get their power. They fund and control wars, and they also fund governments. But it was these same Rothschilds with Adam Weishaupt that started what they call the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, or the enlightened ones. And we know that the word enlightenment ties in with the word Lucifer, because the word Lucifer means enlightenment or light bearer, which symbolizes knowledge. And it was these people who started a revolution against the church and the state. And this revolution that was put together by Adam Weishaupt and the Rothschilds, this is the revolution that they put up against the church and state, because they were atheists. They were what we call Illuminati atheists. They didn't believe in the church having power or the state. You understand? And so they came together and they created a revolution with Adam Weishaupt and the Rothschilds using their money to create this revolution. And ever since 1776, which is when America got its independence, they've been doing this revolution. So when I talk about the Zionist Jews, that's what I'm talking about. And when I talk about the Rothschilds and what they were affiliated with, this is what, you know, the type of stuff they were affiliated with. These are your same Zionist Jews that are behind your 3-eye Atlas hoax, I'm going to call it. And it's all due to their agenda of them bringing us into this new world order, or this new globalization, which they call globalization 2.0, which is based on microchip, computers, and robots, and AI, and digital currency. So I hope y'all understand what's going on. This 3-eye Atlas is just another hoax created by your Zionist Jews who control Hollywood, and they control NASA, they control satellites and your TV broadcasting system to shape and mold your perception of an alien invasion or a UFO encounter, so they can cause chaos and mayhem and destruction, and so they can guide you into this new world order, or this globalization, which they call 2.0, which is the next level with adding AI and robots. This is what it's all about. But they're hoping they can shape and form your perception and to get you to follow their agenda. So this is what really your 3AI is really about. It's really a hoax. It's really part of a Zionist agenda of them wanting to have control and dominance over us and bring in this globalization of 2.0 or New World Order, which is based on microchips, computers, digital money, this whole thing. This is the new way of how they're going to control and dominate us. And so they need something to spark that, to get us to follow suit into this agenda. And so one of their plans is to create an alien invasion, when in actuality it's just a regular simple comet. But they're going to turn it into something other than that, so they can get you to move to their agenda of globalization. So I hope y'all like the bill. It's just my opinion of the situation of 3I Atlas. This is not all Jews. All Jews are not planning a global domination. Some are fighting on the other good side of the polarity for peace, love, and harmony in the world amongst humanity. And you can see see a lot of these people trying to bring the world in a good place. But these Jews don't really get looked at. You understand? So I don't want this to be a badge against Jews. That ain't what I'm doing, because I do realize there's good Jews. But those that are a part of this agenda of global domination, those are the ones that I'm talking to. And this might get pulled down. I hope not. I'm just talking the truth. But it is what it is. So I hope everybody liked this build. Like I said, like, subscribe, go to my YouTube. And, let's build. And I'll see y'all on the next go. Peace.